From the station with the most local news, Fox 17 News at 11 starts right now.
We are pretty strong in our faith, and as we often do before a trip, as a family, we prayed for protection over our trip, and God was really with us. He had wrapped his arms around us.
Last month, a deadly head-on crash on an interstate in Atlanta destroyed a Zeeland family's car. You're taking a look at it there. It's incredible anyone survived this. Police say a 23-year-old woman crossed the center line and hit them head-on. She died at the scene. In the other vehicle, all 7 members of the Clammer family lived. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. After several days in a hospital down south, Mom and Dad are back home in Michigan, reunited with their children who rode back a week earlier.
But not everything is back to normal. Mrs. Clammer is still in physical therapy while nursing a broken neck. Fox 17 Sam Lanstra sat in on one of those therapy sessions today at Mary Free Bed in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, this morning I finally got to meet some of the Clammer family face to face after texting and calling while they were still down in Atlanta. And back when we first spoke, they talked about wanting their story of survival to bring glory to God. Now, as Kate Clammer works the rehab, that's still the case.
Yeah, and we're just so happy to be here. So happy to be here.
A little game of don't let the balloon touch the ground at Mary Free Bed Thursday morning.
That was definitely a God thing. He set all the pieces together because we were really nervous about all the pieces fitting in together.
But before Kate Clammer and her daughter, Adeline, could spend some time in the physical therapy room together, Mom and Dad had to figure out how to get home.
That was really frustrating, being so far away from home and far away from family.
A 12-hour drive was not an option, and a commercial flight would have been cramped.
6'1" and being tucked into a tiny seat where you can't really recline, and it just sounded miserable.
So Wings of Mercy, a Zeeland nonprofit, swooped in.
Yeah, it was
business
so,
jet, and
so nice of them.
Like I said, if it was a different circumstance, it would have been a riot. It would have been amazing, but it was still amazing.
It was still amazing.
Oh, getting tricky. I like it.
18 days since the crash, Kate must learn to live with a neck brace for the next 3 months.
I always say rehab, the patient is half the battle, even more than half the battle. Their motivation and cooperation really does drive a lot of the outcome.
It's 3 hours of physical therapy every day, trying to heal from a shattered vertebrae, broken ribs, and a hematoma on her left leg.
A lot of things that we take for granted, she has to relearn to kind of compensate with not being able to move her neck, and then just, her arms and legs too are getting stronger.
But beanbags make it bearable.
Definitely progress from day to day, and they have you working hard. I take lots of naps, but it's good.
Between a birthday in the hospital and trunk or treating in the parking lot.
That kind of stuff has been great. It's just been really fun to be able to share those moments with them again.
It's kind of hard to see on the kids, right? How it comes out. But Zeke, he's 5, and he misses Mama.
While Mom waits to return to work as a nurse and a taxi to her kids' soccer games, the rest of the family of 7 is relatively unscathed, minus some hearing loss for Adeline.
I don't think we'll ever know why it happened, but that we made it through we're just so thankful that she has all her movements and she didn't have to lose her spinal cord, and we're all here.
Yeah, we definitely feel that God was protecting us, and whether he's got a bigger story to tell through our story, who knows, but we're willing to be used by him if he does.
Now, what's so notable about the Clammer family is the community that surrounded them, their meals made by their church, friends, and family, a GoFundMe amassing $10,000 in donations, and the website where they post updates on Kate's recovery, reaching 32,000 views. The family says that they are so grateful for the prayers and support. For now, in studio, Sam Lanstra, Fox 17 News.